Veterans, are you planning to file a VA disability claim? Get ready for a better way to file. The Decision Ready Claim Program gets you a decision within 30 days after it's submitted. That's just 30 days for the benefits and services you've earned. Talk to your accredited representative or go to www.benefits.va.gov/DRC to learn more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs.
Text and whatever. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. Find us on your smart speaker. Just say play Fox Sports 1380 on iHeartRadio from the Mesa Street Studios. We are El Paso's home for Fox Sports. Fox Sports 1380, KHEY AM El Paso, an iHeartRadio station.
Live from the Fox Sports 1380 studio.
Get it. Get it.
The Tipping Point with Mike Tipton.
Yes, first time to the right way. Man knows everything you do. Do it right, get the tip, do it right.
On Fox Sports 1380.
It is the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton right here on Fox Sports 1380. Got my guy, Andrew J. Polk, hanging out. You can follow him on Twitter and Instagram at Andrew J. Polk on Twitter, at Talk El Paso on Instagram. Myself at Mr. Tipton 33 on both of those forms of social media. Thank you to everyone out there watching us on Twitter, on YouTube, on Facebook. Thank you for the love and support. Like, share, do all that good stuff. You want to get in the show, you can. 915-544-KTSM, 915-544-5876. A lot of stuff to talk about today. I really want to talk about the lack of awareness as there is a bug on your head.
Bug awareness is definitely lacking in this country, Tim.
Yeah, all kinds of bugs. I also want to get people's opinions out there on multiple games now in El Paso, high school football games getting canceled.
Yeah.
Not postponed, canceled.
So I said this when the NFL infection started coming down. The season was nice while it lasted.
Well, to me, like the NFL is going to force their way through this. We've seen it. The NFL, I think I've said it ad nauseum now. The NFL has just thrown the double birds at everybody, and they're going to go do what the NFL going to do. Like they're going to get their money. There is no way you're going to stop them from getting their money.
I don't know. At a certain point, I feel like the Players Association is going to step in and say, like, look, you're making teams with 50% positive rates go on this field. This can't continue. Like
all the power that the Players Association may or may not have had, they gave away whenever they all opted to play in, no matter what.
I'm just saying, at a certain point, the wheels fall off of this cart on the highway to hell.
Chris Babcock saying 4 games so far have been canceled here in the city of El Paso. I know we've got an audience outside of El Paso, so I want to know, for those of you that are not here right now in the Sun City, what is it like in like the other areas around the country? Because I know here in Texas, like we're gonna force feed football out there. Like there's no way we're not gonna have any high school football because it's Texas.
I mean,
but is it the same in like Virginia, where our friend Paul Cassidy, or Vermont, where Paul Cassidy is,
or even just other parts of the state even? Because we got some particularly bad stuff going on here.
How many cases? What did they? 583 new cases?
I think it was 537 new cases. A record either way of number of new cases reported today. And that's both from like current reporting and delayed results, as the city says it, from the state.
You remember whenever we were talking about that second wave?
Dude, we never stopped.
I was about to say, like, is there such a thing as getting a second wave whenever you never really got out of the first?
Yeah, it's called having a sick barrel. You're on that wave, and then a tsunami hits.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it felt like. The COVID tsunami has gotten us over here as we're currently on the highway to hell here on the tipping point of my Tipton Fox Sports 1380. Yes, there are a lot of stuff going around in the world of sports. There is a lot of stuff going around in the world of sports right now. The Atlanta Braves making it to the NLCS, where they will more than likely face off against the Dodgers, who currently have a 2-0 series lead over the San Diego Padres. Currently, right now, if I'm not mistaken, Andrew, if you could let me know what the score is. The Astros just all over the A's right now.
Yeah, Astros up 11-4 over the Oakland A's. So we're at the end of the 8th right now. So unless Oakland pulls a miracle out of their A's here, it's not going to work for them.
So those A's are getting the A's kicked right now. Is what's happening with that team.
All over the field, yeah.
Oh, that is not good at all. Oh, 11-4. And you're a playoff team, like
you hate to see it, Tim.
But I mean, whatever. I will digress. I will not talk about that topic right now. The Yankees going to play the Tampa Bay Rays a little bit later on in the show, but we do not start there. No, Andrew. We start right here with the opening tip. That machine that just keeps on churning its way through the NFL kicks off week 5 today, a whole quarter of the season gone. So maybe they can make some traction and get their wheels going right. The Tennessee Titans playing amazing defense on anything that the NFL is trying to do right now. But week 5 kicking off today with Tom Brady, the beautiful Tom Brady, and the I was going to call them Milwaukee Bucks, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah.
Going up to Chicago, taking on the Chicago Bears, Khalil Mack, that defense. Great defensive team there. I could bash you over the head all day right now with stats that I've been looking on that game because it has a lot of fantasy implications to me.
And you've been dreading the fantasy implications since this weekend, huh?
Well, I didn't even mean like fantasy sports. I just meant Tom Brady.
Yeah, let's say this is not a Man Crush Monday, Tip. Keep it in your pants.
So many people got mad at me yesterday about the Man Crush list. It was so funny. The audience to Twitter and YouTube, they are new. They haven't seen the Man Crush list yet.
Sorry, everyone.
I feel like we need to once again get the Man Crush list out there so people can see what it is. Maybe we can create a graphic or something like that. I'm not great at those.
We need just a whiteboard behind you. Just have it.
So where the Man Crush is right now, and then as someone like Dak Prescott put up the egg that he put up the other day, erase him, move him down a little bit.
Exactly.
I like that idea. So maybe we got the magnet strip.
Yeah, we got to get the magnet strips so we can do the dramatic moving up and down.
Yes, I am about that right there. That was a brilliant idea. Thank you very much, Andrew J. Polk.
Saving sports and shows daily here on the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton.
But I was thinking about this whenever it came to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Mike Evans is now listed as healthy. He's more than likely going to play in this game. So that gives Tom Brady a big weapon that he needs so dearly against a Chicago Bears defense that is extremely stingy. 2 of their top 3 cornerbacks lead the league in incompletion percentage, which means you aren't completing passes when you throw it their way. So you got to have a guy like Mike Evans out there for a guy like Tom Brady who needs the weapons around him in his advanced age of 43. Once again, crazy to think 43 years old is old.
It's the miles, not the years.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot of miles on that body.
Exactly.
It's 6 Super Bowl rings that he's won. I was looking at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers roster. Both these teams are 3-1. You would expect them to be basically even on this matchup, right? But like you would expect them, because they're both 3-1, to be something a little.
I'd expect it to be a good matchup. I feel like I still haven't seen the full brunt of the power of the Buccaneers under Brady yet.
Well, it's because they've had a lot of injuries. Mm-hmm. Like Chris Godwin has been hurt since week 1. And that's whenever they lost to New Orleans. They've been on a 3-game winning streak since then. They've been utterly dominant since then. Mike Evans is averaging 4 catches a game for all touchdowns, which is just utterly asinine. leading the league in touchdown receptions for that guy with 0 yards, basically. But I was looking at the roster, and I'm going to go over the injured list right now on offense for Tom Brady. Mike Evans is going to be healthy. Scotty Miller still questionable. Ruled out or doubtful. Both running backs, or 3 running backs actually. Leonard Fournette is doubtful. LaShawn McCoy is completely out. Kajon Barner, we spoke about him a little earlier, got a concussion and is suspended for PEDs. So we got that going up.
I love that euphemism.
Yeah, I mean, once again, you cannot write this stuff.
No.
You just cannot write this stuff. And then he's got wide receivers Justin Watson and Chris Godwin out as well. So, I mean, he's got Gronk, yes. But it got me thinking about, as we continue here on the Tipping Point, my Tipping on Fox Sports 1380, it got me thinking about what Tom Brady has had in his career. And I really have to pose this question. I know it's going to make a lot of people mad, but has there ever been a quarterback who's done more with less? You can say all you want, like Gronkowski, certified Hall of Famer. He had Randy Moss for a small period of time. You take those two guys out. You take those 2 guys out. Is Julian Edelman a Hall of Fame wide receiver? Some people would say maybe because of the amount of catches he has in the postseason. I don't know. I'm not calling him a Hall of Fame receiver. It's Wes Welker. It's Danny Amendola. It's Julian Edelman. It's Deion Branch, Deion Lewis. Like those names, absolutely nobody in their right mind would know who the majority of those names are outside of maybe Julian Edelman.
Yeah, I vaguely know that one.
Exactly. So it's because of what Tom Brady was able to do. And like you can say, okay, well, look at the running backs. Is Shane Vereen really the name that you want to bring up? James White, that really the name? Like that just seems like the generic name that was made by Madden whenever you do like an auto draft in the season. But like that's who those guys are. Tom Brady now has a wealth of talent around him, and with that wealth of talent comes a whole lot of expectations. But what should the expectations be when all that talent I just talked about it is hurt?
Yeah, the Butcher's Bill, again, we keep talking about the Butcher's Bill for practically every team, I feel like this season has been high. And we might be getting a little bit more. Dan Ornelas mentioning there something that seems to be coming out right now that we're looking at another game getting shifted right now.
And it has to, because the COVID cases with the Patriots, if I'm not mistaken, they didn't have another positive case today unless something came out within the last 30 minutes or so. But Stephon Gilmore, their star cornerback, did test positive following the game against Kansas City. No one on Kansas City has tested positive, thankfully for them. Once again, we know 14 days.
Yeah, well, we got to wait a minute. But, yeah, apparently no new positive tests after this morning's testing. But they are now moving the Denver Broncos, New England Patriots game, moving to Monday from Sunday. And I think you talk about the NFL just being this juggernaut moving forward, regardless of almost what reality is. But I got to wonder if these single-day moves of games are going to be that effective in the long run.
I don't think so. I don't know how. Like, you could say, okay, with the Patriots and with the Chiefs, it was okay because it was one player on the Patriots.
Right.
He was quarantined, and all of the tests leading up to it came out as negative. Then afterwards, you had the positive test. He was able to fly back to Boston, participate in normal walkthroughs on Monday, and then Tuesday tested positive. Because as we know, this ain't your daddy's flu. You know what I mean?
No.
This ain't it. Like, it's going to throw a lot of curveballs at us. So as far as like pushing a single game back, like yes, it worked out with Kansas City. And maybe what the NFL is trying to do is they see a barren landscape ahead of them where they say, we got this many eyes on us on double like Monday night football games. Because why the hell not? Like, we all know it comes down to this. If you're going to have double the Monday night football game, where you get to have the dreamy Tony Romo in Monday night prime time, like if you're able to do that and you're the NFL, why the hell wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you move as many games as you can to be played on Monday? As a matter of fact, what the NFL needs to do is realize that the entire schedule needs to be absolutely fluid. The one question that I have, and I didn't want to get to it right now, but we're all subject to COVID and moving games around, I might as well, is what happens with the Tennessee Titans? They've already wasted away their bye week because now that bye week is going to be made to make up a game against the Pittsburgh Steelers that they missed this past weekend. They have had, once again, another positive test today. That is now 23 total members of the Tennessee Titans that have tested positive.
Mhm.
Much more than your normal 5%. This is what everyone's going with, right? The 5% shuts everything down.
Yeah. I guess if you got to have a line, that's one to have.
So whenever you look at what's happening with the Tennessee Titans right now, you look at what's happening with the NFL. If you move this Tennessee Titans game against the Buffalo Bills to a Monday, you're doing the Bills a huge disservice because they play on Thursday.
Oh, that's
they already have a short turnaround on Sunday going into Thursday. If you move this to Monday night or Monday afternoon football, whatever the hell it is you want to do, you're doing you're probably going to get someone on the Bills hurt.
Yeah, it feels like, and I feel like that might be where, even if it's not really stopping the spread, where these single game moves might be getting us with these bigger injuries. And we already have a huge problem with more injuries because of the messed up nature of how everything has worked to this point. I think that the NFL is going to end up taking this on the chin from a couple different angles.
I don't think the NFL is going to take anything on the chin. The NFL has shown us one thing, like, once again, they do not care. As long as it is revenue driven and that's all they care about is getting their 16 games in. Dan Ornella said yesterday, what about cutting the season down to 14 games? There ain't no way.
Oh, yeah, no.
There ain't no way the NFL is going to do that because it's already such a shortened time frame compared to what Major League Baseball, compared to what the NBA, the NHL, and all the other leagues are. There's no way the NFL is going to be giving up that amount of games.
Yeah,
what they need
true.
to do is expand the season and say all of these games are fluid. The Super Bowl should not have any crowd in it.
It shouldn't even be scheduled right now. Let's be perfectly honest.
And that's what it comes down to is, okay, like throw your schedule out of the way. If you have to, create 2 more bye weeks somewhere in this season where you say, look, this team might be a little banged up. Let's give them a little bit of love here halfway through where everyone gets at least 3 bye weeks before we even get to the playoffs. And whenever the playoffs happen, do what Major League Baseball is doing where they basically have them in a bubble right now. It's so hard for the NBA or for the NFL and for MLB to do what the NBA did just based off of roster size.
Yeah,
and just based on all the stuff that you need to get through a regular football season. But my God, dude, like something has to change. And I like what the NFL's doing because they're basically waving around what they've got right now, just waving it right in everyone's face saying, if we find out, and I think this is going to happen to the Tennessee Titans who messed up yesterday, I'll tell you a little bit about that coming up. But if they basically find out that you were in violation of what their rules are, they have on their table, on their bargaining side that they got from the players' union, suspensions, bans, and the loss of draft picks. So if you are these NFL players, you got to start walking a very fine line because, my God, dude, like the NFL right now doesn't seem like they're playing.
They sure are not. That's
once again, this is a very highly revenue-driven league.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel bad, though, for my guy, Dan Ornelas, because that game is going to kick off at 3:05, that new Monday afternoon game. It's going to kick off at 3:05, beloved Denver Broncos. I want to say he's in the middle of class.
Oh, I'm sure he's going to do like the single earbud over the ear kind of thing, or not, if he's doing it virtually in the other window. He'll figure it out, I'm sure.
That's what I was about to say. Like Dan, I got to figure out now what is it you're going to do moving forward, because I do – I feel for teachers that like that, because Monday Night Football, like I miss part of Monday Night Football just based on the schedule and the way the show goes, and I hate it.
Yeah.
And my team, like the Cowboys, haven't played a Monday Night Football game yet. We'll cross that bridge eventually whenever we get there because I got a lot of obligations around the Dallas Cowboys.
No good, yeah.
That's a topic for another time. But what I will say about this is, like, for guys like Dan Ornell, like, what are you going to do? We'll figure that out next on Fox Sports 1380.
You'll get a confirmation text and info. Data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's Bills to 200. Sports 13.
Remind me to come back with the keyword.
Bills?
Bill.
Okay.
Voting for the fly.
Listen, I'll take the literal embodiment of pestilence 2020.
This is Andrew J. Bull.
Free testing for the COVID-19 coronavirus is still available. Visit epstrong.org for more information and details on free flu shots available throughout the county. El Paso has 4 new deaths, 551
Fancy lawnmower. You regularly have one of these?
I have not. 9 active cases in the county with 537 new infections reported today.
This is a rough IPA. Yeah, it is. Yeah, Anthony has also been like dissolving that part of his tongue for years. There you go.
So, have you noticed how everyone's grammar is completely awful now? Like, the texting and the LOLs. Whatever happened to punctuation? I mean, drivers have switched to progressive to save day.
Okay, we can't help but save customers money. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates.
This weekend, get to Kohl's and take an extra 15% off. Save on the Ninja Booty Grill, now just $279.99. Take 50% off all Serta bedding. Get up to 40% off Sonoma bath, and so much more. Plus, get a little more for your wallet with Kohl's Cash. Plus, fast and free store pickup. Let the gifting start for those close to your heart. Shop Kohl's and Kohl's.com. Select styles, offers valid October 9th through 18th. 15% off of promo moves. Some exclusions apply. See store at Kohl's.com for details.
Hello, El Paso. Scott Lehman here from El Paso Auto Center, and business has been rocking all year long, and we're going to keep it jamming with our Rocktober Sweet Ride and Night event. So
Do you believe any like business has been rocking all year long?
That's right, just $55 down to score.
If it weren't only because of the fact that I remember this commercial from last year.
Ah,
But even that aside, I wouldn't believe it.
So don't stop believing. You
Don't stop believing. Hang on to that feeling.
Don't wait, we're expecting a sellout. So hurry into Rocktober Sweet Ride and Night.
do these need a bottle opener? They do, don't they?
Yep.
I guess crack it open.
Crack open the door. You know what I am going to do? I'm going to buy one of those things and just mount one here on the side.
I really want to get a different desk. Like this desk does not fit this studio,
Oh, no,
but
just be around one.
once again, I'm a diva because I want a studio that works. A functional studio.
Holy shit, dude, this seems pretty heavy duty.
Oh yeah, man.
You gonna do it now or what?
Yeah. Well, we're gonna crack it on the show so we can have our ASMR segment for all of our ASMR fans out there.
Okay. Coming back. I got mine.
Do it live!
Mike Tipton.
It is the tipping point with Mike Tipton rocking with you on a Thursday. Got my guy Andrew J. Polk hanging out. You can follow him on Twitter at Andrew J. Polk. Jam-packed show of Talk El Paso coming up this weekend. We also have a little bit of news about Talk El Paso moving forward. Andrew, please let us know.
So we are going to be launching the daily series now because it's not like there's any less stuff going on either locally, nationally, internationally. That affects us all right here. So starting Monday, October 19th, we'll be starting to do daily Talk El Paso's 4 to 5 p.m. on News Radio 690 KTSM. Definitely taking calls, definitely taking all your input. So stay tuned for that. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Talk El Paso, or we'll also stream every show.
You guys got to share the phone line now.
I will say that's going to be a nightmare whenever this show kicks off. Like at 5 o'clock.
Talk El Paso.
Yeah, because at 5 o'clock, like the
switchover is going to be rough.
Crazies are so. I mean, our engineers have to get it done. Like we have to get a phone line in here, man.
We got a week.
I was about to say,
I have been fighting for that we've both been fighting for that tooth and nail for some time.
but Andrew, congratulations on that. Everybody go out there and support him. Check out the stream. Listen live on the radio if you can, because that's basically where the numbers that count come from. So, Andrew, congrats on that. You know we got your back over here on the
Appreciate it.
Course 1380. Yesterday, though, I was left all alone to my own little lonesome. I was expecting a hero's welcome as I finished the first year of the tipping point with my tipping on Fox Sports 1380. And as the show ended, there was a literal nothing. In the words of one Eric Cartman, I was all by myself.
Carmen.
No, Cartman. I know what I said.
Oh, okay.
You probably said it too at some point. It's fine.
Every single one was. I was going to say, it's my papa. That's where I was going to go. But as I was by myself, I said, you know what? Maybe I'll crack a beer open on the lines. I'll give a cheers to everybody here. I didn't want to do that because if you drink alone, even though you're surrounded by your friends on Facebook live stream, Twitter, YouTube, you're still alone. You're an alcoholic. I refuse to give in to that reality right now.
You're not an alcoholic because you're not going to meetings.
Yeah, you're just a drunk.
Okay. Well, I'm fine with that. So what we are going to do now here on the tip one, we're going to have, because why the hell wouldn't we, our delayed
let me
has all by
go
myself
ahead and put you
in
on
the
the shoot. You know,
background.
hold on just a
This
second.
year, which was a little hard though.
Now that they've moved some stuff on me, I need to make sure I'm doing this
I
right.
got it.
I'm going to try to put you on hold here. Hold on.
This is a St. Arnold fancy lawnmower.
Oh, yeah.
Andrew, what do you know about this Cerveza?
So this is a pretty heavy IPA. I think that let's see if it's got the numbers on here. Okay, I don't see the IBU on it, but yeah, it's
Pretty hefty, I can tell you that.
yeah, and it's the lawnmower isn't just an inspiration anyway. It's got a little bit of that flavor going on too. Not gonna lie.
It's got that fresh cut grass smell to it.
Yeah, it's interesting.
All right.
See, and this is how I know, like, every word I say around this office falls on deaf ears, because our engineer, Joey, who was kind enough to buy us the cake yesterday, kind enough to buy us this beer, asked me, what type of beer do you like?
Rivera. Go ahead.
He's calling you.
Oh, okay.
So he asked me, what type of beer do you like? Mike Tipton. And I was like, I like any beer, really, minus an IPA. So because I'm not a big fan of the IPA, guess what? He goes ahead and brings me, it is an IPA. Not a fan of IPAs. He brings me an IPA because, once again, every word I say around this place falls on deaf ears.
And don't drag us all into this. This is Joey's problem here.
Well, I mean, and once again, don't get me wrong. I love it. I appreciate the gesture. I just am worried about what's going to happen here. Before I take a swig of this, Andrew, do we have someone on the phone line?
Yes, we do. We actually do have Augustine on the phone line.
Ooh, Augustine, what's up, buddy? So 1 year of contaminating the airwaves, I couldn't have said it any better.
That's pretty accurate.
Yeah, I was about to say I've polluted the airwaves of El Paso with my filth. As far as being 1 year old, I cannot wait to get out of this diaper.
So wait, now we're going into the terrible twos.
Yeah, I was about to say if I'm going into the terrible twos, oh man, I feel bad for Walt.
I feel worse for Walt. I already felt that.
By the way, the alcohol by volume on this is 5.4%.
Oh, that ain't too bad.
That's not too bad.
That's not out of it, but the bitterness units, that's what IBUs are.
Augustine, thank you so much for the congratulations. I know your Patriots game being moved. Do you have any thoughts on that? Do you have any thoughts on anything going on sports-wise? Augustine, thank you so much for that phone call, my dude. I appreciate it. I will say this whenever it comes to the NFL and what people would like the NFL to do. The NFL has, once again, I mentioned this ad nauseum. I feel like all I am is on repeat playing the hits right now. The NFL does not care.
Yeah,
The NFL came out and basically said, hey, players, here is your chance. Here is your opportunity to step away. But if you don't step away, we're putting our head down and we're powering through this. The NFL, it's the same thing with the NBA. It's the same thing with the MLB. It's the same thing with even the NHL, the USL, all of this stuff. It comes down to the money you make off of TV deals.
Yeah.
And as we know, we're seeing it in college. We're seeing it in high school. If there's any amount of money to be made off the back of these kids, off the back of these athletes, it's going to be made. So the NFL is not going to cancel the season. There's no way in hell that they're going to do that. Andrew, I want you to take the first sip out of this, once again, St. Arnold's fancy lawnmower.
Let me go ahead and crack mine over here.
It's a weird top, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little.
Yeah, it's a little.
Had it hooked a little bit. Oh well. Cheers.
Rivera.
Salud.
Yeah.
Everybody, Prost.
Pretty good.
This is not as bad as I remember, frankly.
That's not like the normal IPA. So all the bad stuff I said about Joey, I don't take it back completely. I just dial it back about 85%. More sports coming up next. What's up, Adrian? I see you in there. Hi, buddy. Chris Babcock came off the top rope with the best comment ever about your the Talk El Paso. Said, "Oh no, what about my last hour of insufferable Republican a-hole show?"
Don't worry, it'll still be there, right, Rivera?
No, in fact, we're actually just time shifting it. So
I like what Chris Madrid said, though. He's like, cancel the whole NFL season. The Cowboys suck, so postpone it till next year. Let the Cowboys get healthy.
Right.
I'm about to go Dallas Cowboys injury chart right now, man. Like they are hurting.
they're
So honestly, I was writing this. Like the last time I had this, I remember it just felt like a mouthful of grass. This is not bad.
no, and St. Arnold.
So what you're saying is you smoked enough weed to dull the taste.
No, I meant like literal grass clippings. It was not pleasant.
Fresh cut lawn.
I like St. Arnold, but
I love St. Arnold's, but this one, I've never bought this one again from that first time. But they're also a craft brewer. There's some differences every time they do it. They must have. When you told me those IBUs, I was surprised. It only being 22 is. I thought it was like 6.
See, I've never had a St. Arnold, so this is my introduction. So I'm glad that this is okay.
Yeah, I'm glad it was bitter.
I think they may have changed that because I remember this beer being more bitter too.
Yeah, like super hoppy, super grassy, and yeah. So
I wonder where you get this. I didn't think you could get St. Arnold out here.
Also, everyone out there that's watching the stream right now, I want to invite you, since this isn't a iHeart thing, this is me doing my thing on my streams. I want to invite you to come out tomorrow or Friday, right? Yeah. Undisputed Craft House. If the Lakers clinch, they have bottles of champagne that they're going to be popping. Lakers fan, but hey, why not? Destiny says that this looks so super refreshing.
It's good. Like again, I was mildly dreading it. Oh yeah, let's get the clink in there.
You need that ASMR clean.
Yeah, I was mildly dreading it. So
yeah. We're going over here. Yeah, we're gonna get our ASMR clink right here.
Nice.
That's good.
Let's do the triple threat there.
Warriors.
Wait, is this touching tips or how does this work?
We're bumping bottoms.
There we go.
Crossing swords.
I challenge you to a sword fight, sir.
As I make Tip destroy his equipment by spitting beer on it.
Let me get out of here before I get in trouble with the dog. Let me get out of
Yeah, get out of the doghouse. D Woo, the address is 1881 Saul Kleinfeld. It is on the east side of El Paso, on the corner of Montwood and Saul Kleinfeld. You cannot miss it. It's got a lot of green signs around it. Undisputed Craft House. I will be out there this weekend as well. Sunday, Dallas Cowboys game. Hopefully they can stop getting their rear ends kicked because it's not fun.
Which one's that? Oh, is that by the library?
No. I'll get the map right here. So be doing.
Live from the Fox Sports 1380 studio.
Am I fun?
It's near that drug dealer complex. You've never seen it.
Oh, yeah.
The with the water slides.
Yeah.
So, like, right.
That's the question.
Yeah.
That's what they've been working on for a while. So, yeah, it looks bad.
So bad, man.
With Mike Tipton.
I'm not a mushroom, get it? I'm a fun guy.
It is the tipping point right here on Fox Sports 1380. We are back in black, baby. Oh, it's like I feel even worse for the people watching the stream now because they don't get the
I
music.
know, but hey, blame Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg has ruined so many lives.
Ruined so many lives. I mean,
prove me wrong. Show me that I'm wrong in that.
I cannot prove you wrong. You are 100% correct, sir. I apologize sincerely. Adrian Zamudio asking, what do I think about the Lakers game tomorrow? Can the Lakers close it out? They should. Think about this, too. If you are any type of basketball hater out there, think about this whenever it comes to the LA Lakers and the greatness that is LeBron James. He's not Michael Jordan, I will say this.
No.
But Michael Jordan is also not LeBron James.
I mean, they're two different people. I mean, they're arguably the greatest, particularly of their era, if not all time. So they're going to get compared to each other, but they're different players. They got different things they got going on.
I've also said this, like, how dumb is the argument of, like, who's the better guy? Is it 1A or 1B? like, is it a bad thing to be the second best of all time?
No, but I mean,
how dumb?
It's the same thing. Like, oh, you got the silver medal in the Olympics. You scum. You awful person. You didn't win. Like, there's always going to be that aspect to it, which is also dumb, but it's going to happen.
Who was that gymnast in the most recent Olympic 2016? Michaela, where she was on the United States. She got the silver medal, and it looked like it was the worst thing that she could have ever had.
Yeah, it's like finding out that your dog got run over. It was the kind of like facial expressions going on there. Like, it was not good because, I mean, you go back to the old Patton speech. Americans love a winner. We can't stand a loser. And second place is just first place loser.
If you ain't first, you're last.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be on my headstone. Dan Ornell is saying, I will let the Lakers fans bask in their next championship. But before then, I'll stick with saying they don't deserve LeBron James. Is he welcomed now? And see, that's the funniest thing, that because, like, I was going to say that too. I know a lot of Lakers fans. Like, a lot of people are surprised that I'm not a Lakers fan. A lot of people assume I'm a Lakers fan. Don't understand how I'm a Spurs fan, right? Because it's the Cowboys, Yankees, got to be Lakers. Well, there's a reason with the Yankees. It was watching a left-handed, one-handed pitcher throw a no-hitter, which made me love that team. And then I started doing research and found out about Babe Ruth and said, wow, you can be fat, drink, and smoke cigars and play this game and be one of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest?
With some mild syphilitic insanity? Yeah, it's great.
I mean, that's the way to do it, man. But I will say this about Lakers fans. Whenever LeBron wins, it was a lot of, oh, you ain't Kobe. Lakers fans are the only people that will bring up Kobe. And I know, like, with everything that happened, Kobe's passing away in January, that we look at Kobe with a lot of rose-colored glasses. But LeBron James and Kobe ain't in the same conversation.
I mean, even though they have overlap, you can't even compare almost year to year because they're different eras of basketball, practically. It'd be like bringing up Napoleon now and trying to get him to do tank warfare. Like, things are different. They might have been great at their time, but they're not adapted for the way it's done now.
Leave the tanks in the back and bring the soldiers to the front.
Bring me my horse.
Where is my cavalryman?
I want to hit them with my sword.
Adrian Zamudio saying 10 years ago was the last time the Lakers won the title. That was with Pau Gasol, the aforementioned Kobe Bryant, Metta World Peace, a.k.a. Ron Artest. So we got that going for us as well. Michael James on Facebook saying, let's go Stros. I'm assuming they closed out that 11-4 win over the Oakland A's. Like even if Oakland got it to like 6.
They did. They got to 6.
Hey, look at me. There we go. So they scored a couple runs. A late 40 right there for the Oakland A's. The Astros doing their best impression of the NFL, giving the double birds to everybody, and basically saying, "We're here. Stop us now."
Yeah, the death rattle at the end of the match there.
I'm telling you, man, there's two types of motivation whenever it comes to people that are like me. Either A, you beat me and I got to come back and get you, and that's that chip on my shoulder, or you doubted what I did and I got to come back and get you.
Oh, now I got to prove it to you again.
Exactly.
Huh? Mm-hmm.
And there's something that's a little more sweet about that, where you come back and say, not only did I beat you then, I beat you now. Like there's something about that that's a little more sweet that I just absolutely love. Like I may or may not be somewhat crushing on the Astros. Now, if the Yankees play them, it's a completely different story, but it doesn't look like the Yankees are going to get past the Rays right now. So I'm like a little crushing on the Astros. Like I like that chip on your shoulder, man, because if they do come back and win it with the short season, with all the doubt, with all the stuff going their way, the Joe Kelly, the beginning of the year, just plunking every single one of them whenever he had the opportunity. If they're able to come back and win this championship, everything that was negative said about them has to be thrown out the window.
I mean, it's not going to be, but I can understand the argument.
I really hope it's also against the Dodgers. Well, I know that'll hurt a couple of people. I know my dude Michael Montez, our guy Fuji, like a bunch of people, Hawk Scott. It'll hurt them, but I want that so bad. I was also the guy that wanted the Cubs to lose in 7 innings in extra, or game 7 of the World Series in extra innings. I was also that guy to extend their losing streak. I have an irrational hate towards the Cubs.
Yes, you do.
Because of what they did to Bartman. That's a different subject for another time. Chris Babcock saying, back in the day when you only had 1 or 2 NBA games on the air a week, around here was Lakers Central. In the ABA era, the Spurs games were almost never seen here. Yep. I mean, that's a great history lesson on El Paso Sports TV.
I also like the name he used, Floppy McFlop.
That's what he's going around calling LeBron James. I will say this, though. Like, if Jordan could get away flopping, every single one of the players back then would have been able to just flop. And because what they're doing is using the rules of the game to their advantage. Every single player did that. That's why they were hand checking in the NBA back in the day, because you could do it. So if you knew that this was the way that it was supposed to go, every single player would do it. Like Jordan would be flopping right now too if he had the opportunity to. Dan Ornell saying that Kobe was the best player in the NBA for maybe 3 years, from 2007 to 2009. LeBron has been the best player in the NBA since 2009. It's not even close. Again, Lakers fans don't deserve LeBron James. Enjoy your championship. Compliments of LeBron James. Dan Ornelas is just bringing some flames to the Lakers.
Yeah, there's some big mad there. Who hurt you, man?
Well, not even the Lakers. I guess their fan base, and I can understand.
Yeah,
that.
I would say besides the Lakers.
as a Cowboys fan, I can understand what an annoying fan base is like. It's the Giants. They're the worst. Maybe Utah fan.
Well, you have to have fans to count.
There is a handful of Utah fans. I've been debating this of creating like a Twitch stream so that I can invite everyone that's like a normal part of what we do onto the Twitch, and we could all just kind of watch the game together, because we can't go hang out or do any of that stuff. It's going to be on ESPN too. My guy, Mike Gold Sr. is going to be doing the color analysis on that game, so I'm going to try to get a conversation with him tomorrow. Let's see if we can do it. But I wanted to see about getting a Twitch stream so that way we can all just watch the game as fans.
I'd be down.
And just think of the hate that I would spew towards UTEP in an uncensored way.
Absolutely none, because we love UTEP.
We've bestowed a national championship on them.
Multiple national championships.
Who else has done that? Like, who else has loved them that much to bestow a national championship on them?
And as soon as we determine that they would accept a trophy, we'll give them one.
Chris Babcock saying, between the TV coverage and my cousin in LA, that's the origin of the El Paso Lakers fans. I've always wondered about that, because it seems like everyone in El Paso has a cousin that lives in LA.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty boilerplate, frankly.
I have zero ties to LA.
Well, then you and me are the outliers. Then, Tip, we're the only ones that don't have a cousin in LA.
I think if everyone were to actually tell the truth, the majority of people have zero ties to LA here, other than the fact that they went there and they visited once. Like that's it. or twice. We went to Disney World and then a Dodgers game or something like that. I had to dodge a dog. I don't know why I made it sound like that.
I mean, we made Napoleon sound British earlier. It's fine.
Wait, he wasn't? History lessons.
Learning the more you know.
I was like, we need the Star Wars and all that stuff with the little sounder in the back. We got to find a way to get that into the board as well. Adrian Zamudio saying, boy, getting up with the Locomotive soccer game this weekend as well. And then Dan Ornell saying Miami versus Clemson on Saturday. I just hope Miami covers the spread. I will say this about Miami. They are terrible at covering the spread, and they're terrible at showing up in big games. But this is 2020 now, and hey, who knows? I don't do any gambling. I don't do any of that stuff. We've already spoken about this. I hate losing. So for me, if I were to go out there and put some money on any type of football game, it would not be Miami covering the spread. But that's just me. Because I know in their past, they're one of those teams that just seem to never do it. They just never do it. Adrian Zamudio bringing up the Locomotive Soccer team will be hosting a playoff game this Saturday.
There you go.
Hopefully, we'll see if there's going to be fans there. We need to evaluate this whole thing that we're doing in the city of El Paso.
It would be nice if there are fans there, but there might, again, the circumstances we've discussed several times during the show here might not be the greatest idea.
Whenever we come back here on the tipping point of my tipping Fox Sports 1380, I'm going to let you know why COVID isn't the one thing that UTEP football should be afraid of this weekend. More sports coming up next.
Titans-Bill game moved to Tuesday now.
So what are they going to do with the Thursday night game?
Yeah, and it's even conditional then. Titans-Bills for Sunday moved to Tuesday as long as there are no more positive tests in Tennessee.
Well, let's wait till tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think the Titans, like I kind of feel like the last 2 days, like prior to yesterday, Monday and Tuesday, I feel like those were the Titans lying about their numbers.
You think?
Because you have like that little gap of nothing and then 3. That's weird, man. And like I don't trust. Like I think the NFL would have to go in and test independently, and I don't know if they do that right now or not.
Not right now. It's the teams are doing it.
I think it's team based. There's no way. Dude. There's no way they're going to do that to the Bills, dude. That would suck.
I mean, it sounds like we're on the verge of this game getting pushed further back. I mean, this is the first time we've seen one.
The Bills are going to play a doubleheader on Thursday.
Jeez, that would be ridiculous. Yeah.
Cares about your ACL.
Don't forget about the Bills keyword. We did the whole beer thing this time, but I'll remind you that for next time.
I got you.
Do less texting and then go to the next step to meet that person.
Any advice? Can you make the first move? He's like really cute. I have 1,000 more questions.
Well, about 10 minutes coming back.
And starting something great.
This weekend, get to Kohl's and take an extra 15% off. Save on the Ninja Booty Grill, now just $279.99. Take 50% off all served bedding. Get up to 40% off Sonoma Bath, and so much more. Plus, get a little more for your wallet with Kohl's Cash. Plus, fast and free store pickup. Let the gifting start from what's close to your heart.
Got a sellout for the Locomotives game, according to Adrian. And Chris saying that Dr. O was asked about fans at local games, said the franchise was, quote, very receptive to the talks that they had and were following all the Texas guidelines that they should. In his experience, as we know, he's a PA guy there, the fans are pretty much following all the rules that they've set for them. And that's good to see that.
Yeah, it is. Coming back?
They're just not following the rules at bars.
Live from the Fox Sports 1380 studio.
When a man's an empty kettle, he should be on his metal. If I only had a heart,
It's the tipping point.
I'd be tender, I'd be gentle, and awful sentimental regarding love and art.
Tipton.
Absolutely.
It is the tipping point of Mike Tipton right here on Fox Sports 1380. The crazy train rolling along. The El Paso Locomotive have sold out a COVID sellout of 1,601 fans.
Damn.
Why the one? That
Yeah.
one is going to bother me. Like 1,600 should be that. Like, why the one? Different topic for another. Congrats to the Locomotive for one, driving me crazy now, and two, for being in the playoffs, hosting a playoff game. The city of El Paso shows nothing but love to that soccer team, and they deserve every single bit of it. Our dude Chris Babcock saying that the Locomotive have been asked about what they're going to do, like how they've been responding to all the COVID stuff. And Chris, being a guy that is basically the PA voice for them, saying that, hey, the fans are doing their part. So good job out there, Locomotive fans, eighth notch, everybody out there, great job on representing the city of El Paso and not making Locomotive games a hot spot. That was so weak.
Fine.
You could have had like an actual like a real.
I don't think we got one of those. To be honest. Let me
We'll
see.
find you.
There
We
we
will
go.
need to find you. Adrian Zamudio saying that high school football is canceled smack in the middle of the preseason. He's a high school football person. He cares about it. El Paso is not going to have football this year. They should already just cancel it. With high school football, I agree. But we've already seen college football is the money grab.
Mm-hmm.
The NFL is the money grab. Like, that's what they're going to do.
That's
There's
the money
no way.
press. Yeah.
I mean, they're milking as much as they can out of that dollar. Dan Ornell saying, by the way, New Mexico Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham is not allowing any fall sports, including club sports. We have to realize this. We did it to ourselves. We did it to ourselves.
Yeah, we got no one to blame by ourselves.
Sucks, but I mean, that's what it is, man. We were talking about the money grab that is college football. Our UTEP Miners on the road this weekend, ESPN2 in Ruston, Louisiana, taking on the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs. I said that COVID wasn't the thing that they should worry about.
Mm-hmm.
It's Hurricane Delta.
Ooh. Yeah,
We forget
that's
about
true.
that little thing. That thing that made LSU move their game to Missouri, the thing that's going to make the New Orleans Saints move their
That's
game
true.
to Indianapolis. What the hell are we doing, man?
And by the way, I mean, Hurricane Delta was one of the fastest ones to come to be declared a hurricane and go like immediately up to Category 4. And the reason we're at Delta is because they ran out of the official names for this season already. We had Alpha, we went through all the names, and now we're there having to go back around and just do them numerically: Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta now. So, and we're not done with the hurricane season yet. This is a bad hurricane season.
What was it, like a month or two ago that Louisiana had just gotten hit by a hurricane? It was Rita or not Rita.
No, yeah.
Laura.
Yeah, Laura, and then the other one that I forget the name of, one who they thought it was going to hit the same place at the same time because there were two active hurricanes in the Gulf. Like, this is a bad one, folks. So you're definitely right to call it. In my thought about everything else going on, I thought you were talking about the airline for a second, and I realized I forgot that, yes, hurricanes are still a thing, and they're going smack dab into the middle of a path of one.
I want to say, like, when have we ever been just so loosey-goosey with a hurricane? Like, oh, okay, well, we play on Saturday. The hurricane's supposed to touch down on Saturday. I mean, maybe it works out to UTEP's favor. They are a running team. You just get Deion Hankins and ride him all the way. But what the hell are we doing, man?
I don't know.
Chris Babcock saying, thanks, climate change. Now I got to learn the Greek alphabet.
Sooner or later, yeah.
I mean, my God, dude. Like it with COVID, like I get it. Like, you want to be kind of wary with your travels. You're traveling to a hurricane right now.
Yeah, that's
But like not figuratively. You are literally traveling in a hurricane. You're going to play a football game on the outskirts of a hurricane. Andrew, I don't know how many hurricanes you've been a part of. Have you ever been out there like during a hurricane?
never like near the eye of it, but in like the outskirts of it, and not just like the ones that have ended up coming through town kind of thing. Not just the kind of thing that we had coming like the remnants coming through El Paso here, but yeah, I lived on the East Coast for a while, so we got hit by a few.
The one thing I will say about this is you are on the outskirts of a hurricane. That is a beautiful letter, too, by the way, that has been presented to one end.
I've heard.
I will say this. The outskirts of a hurricane normally generate this thing called a tornado.
Yeah, it's possible.
So UTEP in Ruston, Louisiana, once again, about maybe a 2.5 hour drive away from Baton Rouge. I don't know if people realize this, hurricanes are pretty big. A 2.5 hour drive away from Baton Rouge, where Louisiana State University, LSU, decided, hey, we're not going to play here. We're going to go play in Missouri. Where the NFL is saying, okay, New Orleans Saints, a 2.5 hour drive once again from Ruston, Louisiana. Okay, New Orleans Saints, you are not going to play in New Orleans. This game is going to be moved up to Indianapolis. UTEP, on the other hand, is saying, yeah, we'll go to Louisiana Tech.
Yeah, this is special.
The path of that storm actually shows it looking towards Ruston.
Oh,
That's not going to help them.
And it's supposed to touch down like either Friday night or Saturday morning. From what I remember reading, like it's happening within the next 48 hours.
I mean, the thing that these hurricanes are, you're absolutely right, Tim. These things are usually 200 miles wide. You're not going to get around one of these things. July Stadium is not going to be a safe place for UTEP to play.
2020 is like the gift that just keeps on giving. Andrew, are you able to make out that chicken scratch? And can we read this on air?
I think so.
After the show, but it was just too good.
Okay, so
I've been told of its existence, but I haven't seen it yet.
Here's what I want to do then with this letter. Tomorrow here on the Tipping Point with my Tipping Fox Sports 1380, Andrew, if you are able to come in, if you want me to read it, if you want Rivera to read it, whatever way, someone is going to read it. It is going to get produced. We are going to put music behind it, and we will let people know what the contents of that letter are.
A dramatic reading of the letter?
Yes.
Okay.
I need Frank Caliendo reading it as Morgan Freeman, and that'd be great.
And dear High Media.
My dearest Andrew J. Polk, I would like to say you're fighting the good fight. Once again, there's the side. Our guy Chris Babcock saying, that's what 3-1 will do for your confidence. COVID, hurricane, nah, bro. Hey, a 3-1 team, and like I said, I've already put it out there on Twitter. I think UTEP wins this game. I think UTEP's going to come home 4-1.
If only because the other team blows away.
That might be it. Once again, rain creates a messy field. A messy field creates it for a good running back game. Deion Hankins, feed that man like he's Zeke Elliott.
Put some rocks in his pockets, little weights on his feet, some lead in his shoes.
Although I would ask this question, how prepared would UTEP be for a rain game? Because we don't get a lot of that here. Would they have that? Would they have the cleats for that? They're like, wait a minute.
They can't even turn the sprinklers on the field to simulate it.
I think we're gonna have to call our friend Anna Claire Thomas to talk about this. Do they have rain cleats? Because I don't like. It's not me being a jerk. We play in Texas. We play in the desert.
Yeah.
We get 8 inches of rain a year.
300 days of sunshine. That doesn't make. Yeah.
So for this year, it's been dry.
It was pretty rainy early on,
I mean,
wasn't it?
we got a little bit, but I don't know where we are on that average. But yeah.
Chris Babcock, where are we on our annual average of rain? He's our news guy. He better have this on the top of his head.
I'm about to say, he's got all the news data there.
Visit the El Paso HeraldPost.com.
News partners, great people.
Oh, they are. They are great as well. Andrew, he does have red hot, so he doesn't share. I don't even like him. I don't know why I care. Andrew, I don't know if we're going to be able to get to it tomorrow, so I want to know today, what are you going to be doing on Talk El Paso?
So this coming weekend, we're launching our mayoral series. We are going to be having on Carlos Gallanar and Veronica Carvajal, talking about their campaigns, their major thoughts for the race. And so that'll be happening for the next couple of weeks here. We have the candidates coming in well ahead of the election, and within early voting here, we'll be hearing from all of the candidates to let you know what their thoughts are and what they'll do if elected as your next mayor.
Mike Rivera, anything going on with 96.3 KH country?
We've got some contests coming up for Halloween that could score you some cash. Stay tuned.
We were talking about the Buffalo Bills. You two have a little bit of time right now to go ahead and enter our nationwide contest. All you got to do is text this keyword to the number 200. The keyword is Bills.
The get a confirmation text, standard data, and message rate supply in this nationwide contest. That's bills to 200.
Our guy, Chris Babcock, saying, as we were talking about the rain or rain averages that we have for this year, it is, quote, below average. Once again, what needs to be on the headstone of this show.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this show. I don't know why. It's the best thing in the world. Our guy, Adrian Zamudio, saying, will he see us tomorrow? We are here Monday through Friday.
Yes, sir.
I know that's news to people that I work with, but we will be here Monday through Friday on the tipping point with my Tipton Fox Sports 1380. The Odd Couple with Chris Broussard, Rob Parker coming up right here on our airwaves.
Actually, I was going to say we got another Rangers game tomorrow. Sorry, man. We're moving you for the Rangers.
We got the Rangers. The best of the Rangers this year.
We're going to do the replay of Game 1.
We're going to play all 19 of their wins. No, it's 22. They had 22 of their wins.
We're clear. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys. It was nice seeing you. Chris, there's a bunch of jokes for